we're going to have Hydra taking on the new GDT, I guess. I'm not actually sure if they're going to be a new team or if they're just playing this tournament for fun. But either way, once again, my name is Draskyl. Joining me is Spit-wad once again for day 2. We're only going to have 2 matches today. They're both going to be best of ones, but I believe one of these is going to be a qualifying spot, is it not?
Yes, the winner qualifies. And then later this afternoon we have one more qualifying match, which will be between Acer Esports and WOG.
Alright, well I think we actually spectated both of them watching the other day, and it was pretty good
games.
games.
We did not actually see WOG. That was a different WOG. What?
Alright, well, I didn't actually know there were 2 different WOGs in the tournament, but I guess that's what happens when you have 100 people sign up. Or 100 different teams, rather. And we're going to go ahead and get right into the picks here. We have CK taken out by Hydra, and Hydra has actually looked pretty good recently. They went up against AL. I actually was talking to Snoopy, and he said that Hydra beat AL. I think yesterday you said that it was the other way around. I'm not sure, but he said that they were the ones who ended up losing, so I don't know.
Unless it was a best of 3, Hydra lost. PowerNet was morphling. He was really farmed, but they weren't able to win it.
When is PowerNet not really farmed? That's the question I have.
That's true. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they lost.
Alright, well, gonna have to see what they can bring here today, and obviously Taku is, or I'm sorry, not Taku, GDT is a name that goes back quite a while, and they've had teams ever since Warcraft 3 Dota, and they've been kind of on and off, I would say. Maybe never really like the highest tier team, but always been pretty darn good to say the least. But going back to the bans here for a second, we got Chen, Enchantress both taken out by Hydra, and Broodmother and Lycan taken out by GDT, and I think it's a bit strange that people have gone back to taking out Brood. I think in the last day we casted, we didn't see a single game where anyone banned Brood at all. Or picked, for that matter, now that I think about it.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Brood. Brood's always one of those heroes who's kind of annoying to deal with, but she just doesn't win games. I don't know, especially with the BKB build. Honestly, I think that she just becomes really weak after her one lane push.
Yeah, she doesn't really bring the same presence that a lot of late-game agility heroes do, especially as a melee. That can be a really big problem in the later stages because you just get kited around pretty easily by a lot of heroes, so I definitely agree with you there. I still think she can be good in some situations, though, and that leaves Furion for first pick, so Hydra's going to go ahead and take Nature's Prophet. Dark's here, being the last ban out from GDT. And with both junglers banned, that's pretty much just getting Nature's Prophet and not having to worry about getting an immediate strong push here unless they want to go something along the lines of Invoker and a Leshrac. We had a little bit of a change up here. We're going to have Hydra.
Yeah, I think that... Oh, and there's the Leshrac pick from GDT.
Yep, I kind of figured that was going to happen. The North and I think South American teams especially too love picking Leshrac. That hero just brings so much to a team competition. You can build him so many different ways, and Brewmaster is going to be the second pick. So Invoker still is in the pool. I'm not sure if Hydra has any Invoker players, but they are going to take him here, along with Sand King for third pick. And that's something we've been seeing a lot too. People love taking Sand King now. Every team that I've seen at least has one Sand King player. And he's typically played as a support, sometimes as an offlaner, depending on what kind of lineup you're going against. But he's been pretty strong so far in this tournament. Wow,
yeah, I think teams just really like the mobility they get from him. And I personally like Animage against Invoker and Furion.
Yeah, I think that Animage is a really good choice here, because they've already picked 3/5 of their team, and there's nothing really that the AM has to be scared of unless the Furion gets a lot of farm. I mean, Invoker can be relatively annoying to an AM if he gets Cold Snap to a relatively high rank so he can stop your blink animation, and then you have to worry about him getting like a Hex in the later game. But other than that, if you just build AM tanky, which most players do who pick him, he should be pretty hard to deal with the current lineup that Hydra's running, so I feel like they need something to try to deal with him. A lot of teams like picking heroes like Night Stalker. Anything with a long silence or multiple stuns is pretty much what's needed to kill an Animage, and Beastmaster will definitely help that cause. And back to the bans here, rounding him out. They actually went really fast. They took out Venomancer and Windrunner for Hydra, also Shadow Demon and Enigma for GDT. And now with Beastmaster picked up, we're going to see what GDT goes for here. I'm assuming they're going to go support at least one.
I think they're going to pick CM.
Right.
I mean, Vino has been banned out. SD has been banned out. They don't have that many options for a support hero, and CM tends to go really well with Panda and Leshrac. And AM, for that matter.
Yeah, CM pretty much just fits into any lineup, I think. I wouldn't really find a team that I think a CM would be bad. And I think it's really cool that they ban out the Shadow Demon as well, because Hydra does in fact need one more support, especially a ranged support, and they banned out Windrunner and Venomancer themselves, so with Shadow Demon out of the pool, that leaves, what, Witch Doctor and CM, and that's pretty much it, and Dazzle, I guess, for supports. And I don't really know if any of those heroes are really going to help Hydra as much as the CM would. If GDT takes it here, then I think that Hydra's going to take a hit to their overall team effectiveness in terms of what they can get. But they are taken into the reserve time here. Taku taking his time. And I honestly would expect this to be a game where one of the members of Hydra, at the very least, gets a Necronomicon. That's like a really potent item against heroes like Animage and even Brewmaster. Neither of them have the greatest base mana pools, and if you just pop that and put one on either of those heroes, then they lose their mana very, very quickly, especially if you can get the Brewmaster before he gets his ultimate off.
I think Necrobook is a pretty weak item right now.
You think so?
I hate to say it because I like it, but yeah, I just don't think it's very good. Lich.
Oh, I always forget about Lich for some reason as a support, but honestly, what that screams to me is dual lane mid. Every time I see a Lich pick and an AM on the same team, I just think that GDT is going to dual lane mid, have the Leshrac either support the Brewmaster or go long lane with whoever they pick, and they still have to pick a long laner if they're going to do that, and Morphling's also going to round it out for Hydra. And Morphling can be good against AM. I think he's actually one of the heroes who doesn't suffer as much from getting your mana burned. I mean, it's still obviously detrimental to the hero, but I think like Morphling can kind of get items in a way that will make him able to outcarry an AM in some cases, and not necessarily just in a 1v1 situation, but because he can kill your team so much faster if you go items like Ethereal Blade and you go for the shotgun combo. Heroes like Lich and Leshrac just aren't going to be able to stand up to that.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that pans out. We will get to see PowerNet playing Morphling, and I don't know who's going to play the rest. Demise on Furion?
Yeah, I think Demise actually plays either Invoker or Sand King for them. I'm not entirely sure on that, and I don't know who Solitude is. I know Highlight's typically a mid player.
Solitude is Solus.
Oh, okay. He changed his name between now and when the game started. Alright, and Queen of Pain's going to round it out for GDT, so all the heroes are picked, just waiting for people to pick what they're going to play so we can see how the lanes shape up. And after the Queen of Pain, I'm assuming that Queen of Pain's going to be going bottom. And then they're going to have a Lich, Leshrac, and Brewmaster no, not trailing with the Brewmaster, with the AM. But we'll see.
They have a lot of options.
Yeah, they do. They have a lot of really good ranged. Leshrac and Lich open up your lane so much you can really do anything at this point. About 5 seconds left, and we'll see who's going to be playing what. We'll go over the players really fast and the heroes as well. Alright, let's see here. Who's playing what for GDT? So we're going to have XCOM on Queen of Pain. We're going to have a pause too because NEODota. Loki is going to be playing on Leshrac, Tuna, on Lich, Worst Player BR, on the Anti-Mage, and finally Taku will be playing on that Brewmaster. And then the 4 players who have actually picked heroes right now for Hydra. Beastmaster is going to be played by Hyla. We're going to have Demise on Invoker. Solitude, aka Solace, on Nature's Prophet. PowerNet on Morphling, as you had said earlier. And that means that Infinity is going to be playing the support. And I think that's Sand King, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Alright, so what do you think that that Hydra are going to do for lanes here? I mean, this is honestly a bit interesting. Do you really think that Solace is going to jungle in this case? I mean, I don't really know where else he can go.
I mean, they could have Beastmaster jungle instead of Furion.
Yeah, I mean, Nature's Prophet would probably get more
I don't
levels.
know.
I think, yeah,
I'd probably put Furion in the jungle.
Yeah, understandable. 1 second, guys. Gonna abuse this opportunity to go offline mode so I don't get messaged in game. Forgot to do that. Woke up just a little bit late, as you guys might have noticed. But we didn't have a game to cast right away anyway, so I lucked out. And I don't know what we are waiting on, but hopefully everybody can get things started so we can get this underway. Once again, guys, only 2 games today, unfortunately. I definitely don't mind casting those long days unless I have to do it solo.
Actually, there might be 3 now. Apparently, the WoG vs Acer game, we're not ready for that. I guess the brackets aren't that far. First, WoG has to play VT.
Well, somebody was saying like a crash or remake for one of the games, so they were going to be playing a best of 3 for some reason, and I thought all these games were best of 1. I'm not really sure what the deal with that is, but I guess we'll find out later.
Yeah,
and
that
people
should
are
start
giving
at
you shout
3
outs on
p.m.
the internet.
Eastern now.
Yeah, we'll have a bit of a break between games, so gives me time to try to finish uploading the other stuff to YouTube, which they will be up today. I'm pretty certain of that. So I'll get that started. If you guys missed any of the games yesterday, there were a lot of good games. Unfortunately, one of them somehow recorded without sound. I don't even know how that happened, because everybody on the stream obviously could hear me while I was casting it live, but just couldn't get it to play in the VOD. So unfortunately, the last game of yesterday will not be uploaded. Which is kind of ironic, because that was actually the best game of the day, I think.
Yeah.
Alright, so apparently both teams are ready. We're going to go ahead and get the game underway. This is going to be a best of 1. The winner of this is going to go further onto the bracket and closer to the qualification match for ECAL's $3,000 North American and South American tournament. Once again, my name is Draskyl. Joining me is Spit-wad from NEODota. And we're going to have Demise going middle lane. Let's see if they decide to do that AM dual lane or if they want to go for a tri lane. Looks like AM is going to be heading towards top. So at the very least, the Invoker is not going to have to deal with that insurmountable experience gap in middle when you have a Lich denying every creep from every single wave. That's definitely nice for him. I'm kind of surprised to see this change up, though, because typically Invoker is considered a hero that is not worth trying to 1v1 because you just know you're going to lose. And I forgot to turn off my overlay again. Thank goodness we had a pause, so it's not going to cut too much into the game. And we're going to have 4 people from GDT going into the Radiant side jungle, and PowerNet's going to get spotted here, but does have that waveform at level 1, so he'll be able to get away and be A-okay. We got some pings going on here. Probably going to see some offensive warding coming out from GDT. And yep, there it is. Going to put one right in the jungle. And I believe that actually blocks 2 camps. I think it blocks the big camp and the medium camp, if I'm not mistaken.
That is the magical bush spot.
Magical bush. That could be interpreted in so many different ways, man. We got some Treant scouting things out here. Loki's going to pick up a DD rune. So I guess we're going to have the Brewmaster and Leshrac mid against the Invoker. So they still are going to run a dual lane, but that means that AM's going to be solo up here unless Leshrac just wants to make the long journey all the way to top, which I suppose is a possibility, but at the very least he will end up wasting some time. Although anticipating that the Beastmaster is going to be here as their solo long laner might work to their advantage, because a Beastmaster is not going to be able to do too much against an AM in this situation. Even once he knows that there's only one person top, he still has to play a little bit safer than he would normally because of the position that he's in. In middle lane, Demise has already taken quite a bit of damage. Trying to do everything he can to get some CS here. And Taku is going to already be at 2-1, and that also means that PowerNet is going to be solo bottom at Morphling versus this Lich Queen to Pain lane, and I don't really know if he's going to be able to do anything either. In terms of lanes, I would definitely give GDT the advantage here. They're going to have to really rely on the Furion to be ganking once he gets the levels for it, so at the very least level 3 before he can do anything. And nice counter warding also done by Infinity right here. Dropping wards in 2 spots that cover a large portion of the jungle, capturing most of the major warding positions, and just so happens to catch out the one placed by GDT and the ward rune as well.
Yep, very efficient. And the AM up top is already forced to use his self, so Hylua's Beastmaster is doing a pretty good job controlling him from the start.
Yeah, I'm definitely very impressed, and it's a bit strange. I mean, look at how much Beastmaster does to AM, actually. He's got 62 base damage compared to the 59, and this is a really cool choice from Hyla. He actually got Enter Beast, so his attack speed would be higher. So whenever they do trades in this lane, until the AM gets some ranks into his feedback, it's always going to be better. And now that the Beastmaster's out of mana, AM actually does less effective damage. So trading is not going to be too effective for this AM. Really nice play by the Beastmaster, getting himself a little bit of an advantage where otherwise I thought that he might be having a rough time. And the creep score is pretty even still. Although a lot of that also has to do with the fact that the Beastmaster has a stout shield and AM does not. That can be a pretty big deal.
He's cutting it close up there.
Yeah, he's living life on the edge, but he knows that the Beastmaster won't have mana for axes. And maxing this aura is always going to be pressuring the lane because you can see how fast the creeps are attacking. I mean, that lane's just going to get pushed. And, oh, wow, random Sunstrike, he runs right into it! Oh, my goodness. Demise with the Sunstrike in the middle of the lane, and the AM just runs straight up. That was sick, man. That was a sick play. I'm so happy I caught that because that could have easily been missed.
Yeah, pretty good awareness from Demise there.
And that is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you don't actually pay attention to your HP and the fact that there is a Invoker on the other team who is going Exort, as Exort seems to be the standard build nowadays.
And on bottom right now, we are seeing the power of Lich, as Morphling just hit level 3, and both the Queen of Pain and the Lich are already level 3.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a problem. And I haven't really seen the Sand King too much. I assume he was trying to do some pulling here. But as it stands right now, he is still level 1 himself. The Furion is level 3. And deciding to get a second rank of traits instead of going for this Sprout. So he's not going to be trying to gank right here. He's just going to be farming up. And top lane, it looks like a blink in. Now we have Leshrac here from the side of the woods. The stun barely misses. Hylaw's going to be able to get out of here without going down. And that's a huge deal, honestly. This Beastmaster's halfway to level 6 already. And it's only 4 minutes into the game. And now he has boots as well. Has that stout shield still. That's helped him significantly in his laning phase. He's going to be going for that Soul Ring. Big dive on mid onto Taku. He is not level 6 yet. He does hit the clap, but unfortunately not going to be enough damage to kill Solace. So as soon as he hit level 4, he did end up putting a point into that Sprout and started ganking straight off of that. Nice reaction from Hydra, noticing that the Leshrac was top, and he didn't have a TP on him, so there was no way that he could have made his way back to mid and the time it took to take down the Brewmaster. So 2-0 right now in favor of Hydra at just under the 4.5 minute mark. Very impressive play so far. And AM is already almost dead again. Like, he has no HP whatsoever, man. Pick up like a poor man's or something, so every time you get hit, you don't lose like half your HP. That's really the discrepancy here, is the fact that he does not have a stout.
Yeah, he's having a difficult time, but he does have 19 CS right now.
Yeah, I mean, his creep score is definitely not suffering too much, but the Beastmaster has 22, so he's still technically winning. And he has an assist with the First Blood, so... I mean, you still can't ever really count out an AM, just due to the nature of the hero. Later on, he's still going to be that dominant force in the game, and he goes for the Ring of Health instead, so... Still going for sustain, but still in one-on-one trades. I still don't think it's going to be very effective for him to try to fight Hyla. And with the Soul Ring picked up, he can roar anytime he wants, basically, and he's going to throw out axes. Nice blink right there to dodge them, knowing that it was going to be coming after the Soul Ring pop. I'll take a look at the gold really quick. So about 1,000 in favor of Hydra, who is the Radiant side, by the way, for those of you who don't know. And about 1,000 experience as well. So nothing really too crazy, but at the very least they have some kind of momentum going into the early mid-game. And Power Net in this bottom lane is only at 6-2. That is definitely a suffer right there. He is having a really tough time. We can see XCOM actually cancel cast his Shadow Strike right there. Eats a few needless tower hits, forced to blink out of range. Trying to just do some extra harassment while the Lich looks like he was trying to block creeps back there and just make sure he can deny as much as possible. And now we got the AM up to 29-4. There is no call on Beastmaster, so he has to be really careful. Loki coming in from the side. There's a blink in from AM. Can he land the stun this time? Can he land the stun? He misses a second time. So there's not going to be any edict, and Beastmaster escapes another gank. And you got to kind of think to yourself, how much time can the supports really afford to waste before it starts to become that much more detrimental to their team? I mean, that was 2 failed ganks so far. Taku's been trying to do everything that he can, but with this Leshrac not here to help him out, Demise has no fear in this middle lane at all. He can pretty much just CS whenever he wants. There's a Rune Ward bottom as well, so if the Queen of Pain or Lich leave to try to gank him, he'll be perfectly safe. They've also had the Sand King in the jungle on their side of the map most of the game, so he can react to ganks as well. I think that Hydra's just playing a really nice tight style so far, that even though the Morphling isn't getting a lot of farm, I think that eventually it's going to be working out for him. So it's going to be up to the AM, I think, on GDT to see if they can do anything. And speaking of, looks like we're going to see another pickoff in middle on the Brewmaster. And AM actually blinks in here, eating a lot of Sandstorm damage. Needs to be careful. Throws out the ultimate. Is he going to get the kill? He will. Demise just face tanks it. Now stunned from the low ground. He actually canceled cast, and Infinity is going to salve up. We have Solace TPing in on Furion to try to get a kill, but immediate Quelling Blade on that Sprout to get himself out. Now the Edict is going off. There's another stun from the high ground by Infinity, but I think they're both going to go down. They, in fact, do. Leshrac and Queen of Pain both getting 1 kill. So a 1-for-3 exchange. That's the kind of reaction that GDT definitely needed. Taku fell there at the beginning of the fight, but they managed to turn it around and get 3 kills for it. So I think that's the kind of thing that they really need to keep doing if they're going to be playing an aggressive style like Hydra is.
That was a nice recovery by GDT.
Yep, definitely. Also really cool that the AM ended up TPing and getting himself a kill. I mean, in a lot of cases, he wants to be the one who gets to sit in the lane and pretty much go AFK, but without him, 2 of those kills probably would have never happened.
The Sunstrike barely misses on the Leshrac.
Yeah, I think Loki's life just flashed before his eyes right there. And Demise already has his 4 staff. He is 3-1-0, 34-10 at just under the 9-minute mark. So he is doing quite well for himself so far. Let's look at the overall CS while we have a moment. So 35 for Demise, 31 for Solace, 40 for Hyla, 23 for Brewmaster, 31 on the Queen of Pain, and 37 on Animage. Everyone else is pretty much a support, so not really too high. And the Morphling's still only at 11 creep kills in this bottom jungle right now. He is forced to pull, basically, to ensure that he gets anything. And I missed a kill top again. Sunstrike combination with the Beastmaster Roar. I'm assuming is what ended up getting that kill. We can see the Roar on cooldown. And that combination is really potent, even for an AM. Sunstrike is true damage, so having a rank into that magic shield doesn't do anything. And once again, AM is going to fall. So now Demise still sitting mid, about to hit level 8. He has a rank of Wex as well, so that's really important for X-Sword Invokers, I think, that a lot of people just skip entirely. You're going to see a Cold Snap used on a Taku right here. Taku is not level 6 yet. Another cancel cast stun by Loki, forcing Demise back and have to force himself away from the tower. And now we're also going to have Anti-Mage TP to middle lane as well, who is currently sitting at 38 CS now. And we have a port in top from Solace to push this tower. Sand King and Beastmaster still here from their gank earlier. Going to be able to take this out relatively easily. Lich is going to TP in. You should probably cancel that, Tuna. That's not a good TP. He's going to get pretty much completely caught out here. No axes yet. He's getting blocked by treants from Solace, but there we go. Finally does get the kill now. Taku throwing out the clap, but the tower falls in the meantime. And the stun misses again from Loki. And now Infinity's going to be able to Burrow Strike out of range of the Edict and be able to get out of here. Man, this Leshrac really needs to start delivering on his stuns, or GDT is going to be in a pretty sore spot soon.
Or just came off cooldown. Looks like they're going to go back in.
Oh, Loki gets hit by the axes. One more auto attack will seal the deal right there. Taku is going to get Sunstruck right here, and he doesn't get the ultimate off. Sand King gets the kill. Doesn't quite have the cast animation. He might not have been expecting it. It looked like he had time to ultimate right there. But it was really, really close nonetheless.
And now PowerNet finally gets some time to farm.
Yeah, we're going to see Queen of Pain come up here, throw out the Scream onto Infinity. Going to be forced to get out. Nice cancel cast on the ultimate. Doesn't use it yet. Waiting for the Shadow Strike. Trying to juke around the one tree, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. He does get away. Are you serious? Oh, is he going to blink chase here? If he blinks, he could be in a bit of trouble. Infinity does not have a wand. He's going to have to try to chase to the low ground, and here we go. There's a Scream. I'm not sure why he turned around, but Queen of Pain.
Honestly, I think he almost juked.
Oh, Sunstrike! Right, and XCOM goes down from the Sunstrike. Demise of Sunstrikes have been great so far.
I think the Queen of Pain started her blink animation and had to cancel it, so juke
yeah,
was pretty close.
If she had blinked in, she would have been in a little bit of trouble there, I think, but able to save her blink because Infinity turned around and was... she got to the high ground, but unfortunately Demise with the heads-up play, throwing out the Sunstrike and getting himself another kill. Have all his kills been from Sunstrike so far? I want to say that they have. But in this bottom lane, it looks like GDT is going to be back in here, stopping PowerNet from farming too much. And honestly, I think this is the least amount of gold I've ever seen PowerNet have at this point in the game. But going to have to hold on that for just a second. Demise does have some harassment going on into him right now by the Lich. Can Loki actually hit a stun? Nope. Does not appear so. We're going to have XCOM on the low ground, but he does have a rank of Wex anyway, so if he had his Invoke up, he would have been able to Ghost Walk at the very least. Taku's coming into the side here towards the bottom pole to see if he can stop any more gold that PowerNet would have otherwise been getting. We're going to have Solus over here, too. And there's going to be the waveform in. I don't think he actually should have done that. Now he's going to be in a bit of trouble. Nice blink in. Blocks PowerNet's movement. He doesn't have any mana left. He can't TP. There's the Void. And we're going to see Brewmaster pop the ultimate after getting sprouted in. TP reaction already out from Hydra. Demise is down here now. The boulder will go off from the fire, or the earth aspect, rather. And now the fire one's trying to chase down the tower. There's a Cyclone on the Invoker, but I guess he's just going to leave PowerNet alone. And the ultimate is finally off. Animage with basically no HP somehow gets caught off to the side and right-clicked down. We're going to have a dominating streak also in the meantime from the Beastmaster, who dies in the river to Queen of Pain. But at the same time, Panda dies as well. So 11-5 right now in favor of Hydra. 3 down for 1. They couldn't quite seal the deal on PowerNet. I'm not sure how he lived there. I mean, he did have the wand, so that was definitely a huge deal. But the Panda decided to just stop chasing him.
And Solus picked up a Midas. Kind of an interesting choice. We don't see Midas in competitive play as much, even on Furion.
Yeah, that's...
See how it pans out for them, though.
Honestly, in this case, I think it's going to work out. They definitely have the momentum, and typically when you have a Midas on a hero, it can be detrimental in that you can't really defend or fight as early, but for Furion, that's not really the case. It doesn't really take away too much from his arsenal unless you're going something like a fast urn and a fast medallion or mech or something like that. But when you do get it on Furion, if you're allowed another 10 to 15 minutes, which I'm sure they'll get in this game because they've already killed the only 2 towers that have dropped in the game, the first and bottom tier towers for GDT, it's just going to be really, really tough.
It looks like he's actually going to go mech now after Midas.
Yeah, he does have that headdress recipe in his stash currently. So that just means that their early game team fight's going to be really, really tough to deal with, especially considering this Leshrac, man. Like, I don't typically rag on players, but you got to land stuns, man. Like, I don't know. I think I've seen him land, like, what, 1 stun so far? That just can't happen. Like, you got to be on with your stuns. That's like...
Well, they don't have any setups for him. None whatsoever.
Yeah, that's true, but if you miss a stun on a Sandstorm Sand King, and it's not even like he was moving either. Like, he moved after the stun went off. Well, we're going to have a cold snap used onto Loki here. Force back. There's a force snap into Hylon. Nice play right there. Gets the roar off, and the Axis Chain Frost is going to be popped. Nice split, though. Going to bounce back to the creep and really do no damage whatsoever. Also, Necronomicon will be built on Beastmaster this game. I kind of felt that was going to be coming. At the very least, it does add to a push, and also really good against heroes who are completely dependent on their mobility via mana to live, like heroes that GDT has in Queen of Pain and Anti-Mage. Oh, nice force staff forward, but his stun's going to be just out of range on XCOM. Still allows, I guess, Morphling in this case to get the double damage. He does have a bottle. And it looks like this middle tier tower is going to go down. Finally, looks like Hylon has 1 rank into his call. He went max Aura first, which means that anytime they try to do a push, it's going to be really devastating. And wow, another kill for the Invoker. And I saw the Sunstrike Crater on the ground, so that definitely has to be what it was.
He didn't need it.
Alrighty, so they're going to get the tower deny anyway. Hylon's going to be running off to the side of the Ancients over here. Maybe thinking about doing some stack killing. There we go. And Loki's actually level 7, so like farm-wise, he's not doing terrible for a support at this point in the game, but he just needs to start being a little bit more effective with his play. And Infinity's actually going to catch out XCOM here. There's the cold snap. He's probably going to go down before he can move right here. There's the Sunstrike, but the Axis from the back kill him anyway. Wasn't even necessary. Now Infinity's going to continue chasing on a tuner right here, and he's going to run right into Demise and Hyla. And there's a teleport just in case from Solus. If there was any way he could have juked that, I don't even know if it was possible anyway, but now there are currently 4 heroes mid with that 40% attack speed bonus aura. Solus is going to make some treants here and just continue to push down the tier 2 mid. And this just buys PowerNet more time to farm. He's up to 43 and 7 right now. Let's check out the Anti-Mage to see how he's doing. So 75 and 23. Earlier in the game, the Morphling was much farther behind. There's a glyph. Actually, I think it might have stopped the deny, but now Loki's going to be in trouble with the Burrow Strike, Axis, some right clicks from Solus, and Beastmaster does get the kill. And XCOM blinks right into a roar, or TPs rather. That was interesting. I don't really think you can live through that in his case. It's currently 17-5 at just the 16-minute mark into the game. This is looking pretty one-sided. I don't think that Anti-Mage is going to have the time to get to the point that he needs to carry this game.
One thing going in GDT's favor is that they did manage to keep PowerNet down quite a bit. 16 minutes, all he has is boots and a Wraith Band and an Ogre X now.
Yeah, I think he's going to be rushing that BKB, but looking at the farm of everyone else, like the gold graph right now, over 10,000. in favor of Hydra at this point, and I'm not really sure what GDT is going to be able to do because the Brewmaster didn't have the start that he wanted. He's only level 8. He doesn't even have his phase boots yet or a drum. The Anti-Mage is still working on his Battle Fury. I actually think he has the money for it, but the Roshan here is going to drop for Hydra, and I don't see how they're going to be able to stop the next push. Like, it's either going to be a set of racks or they're going to lose a couple of heroes trying to defend it, and that's not really going to be able to get them back into the game, you know? Like, you have to find spots and openings, and I don't really think they're going to find any. I mean, they've killed one tower, and actually it wasn't even a kill, it was a die on bottom. Now, Anti-Mage does finally get his Battle Fury to himself right here, so that's going to accelerate his farm quite a bit, but he still needs time. Like, he can't fight with just a Battle Fury and no boots. He needs to get his treads, he needs like a Manta, maybe even a Vitality booster on top of that for the extra HP, because even with a Manta, if they catch out the real one, Beastmaster Roar with Invoker combination of Cold Snap is going to be pretty potent, even on a hero like AM. Blink Dagger picked up on the Sand King now as well. And PowerNet is getting close to his BKB if that's the route that he chooses to go. I think it will be. There's no real reason for him to go for a hard carry if they're going to try to end the game before the Anti-Mage gets any more farm. If that's their mentality, then I definitely agree with the BKB choice. Also allows him to play very aggressive and just get right into team fights, which is something that Morphling wants to do. And he can just use his ultimate to get himself out of trouble if he ever needs to. So right now, people have kind of just fallen back into passivity here. Anti-Mage is still farming away. Hasern picked up on the Nature's Prophet. XCOM side pushing bottom. He has a point booster on himself, 3-3-1. 68 CS, 15 denies at 19 minutes. I suppose that's not too terrible, but given the lane they had, I would have liked to have seen him a bit more farmed. He was down there with that Lich against pretty much a solo Morphling for a good majority of the game, and Morphling is actually ahead of the Queen of Pain on CS.
GDT doesn't really know what to do right now. They're waiting for the Anti-Mage to farm up with his Battle Fury. It's going to take a while.
Oh, XCOM, there's the Blink in and the Burrow Strike. There's a Sunstrike as well and the Cold Snap right afterwards. Can't even cast the Blink animation. Nice combo right there from Demise, ensuring that he used Cold Snap to stop him from what would have otherwise for sure been a blink away. And that's another kill for Hydra. Now they're going to circle up to this top lane. Probably wait for Fear and TP in there as well to add something to the push. He does have enough cooldown, obviously. Level 4 teleportation only has a 30-second cooldown, so he can pretty much be anywhere he wants, whenever he wants. Replicate also going to be popped by Morphling, probably sending it up top as well to add to the push. About 30 seconds left on that, so he's got some time. Wow, on the side we can see that Sullus has found the Anti-Mage. Another Sunstrike going to go down. This one's not going to make contact, though. And he's going to blink back to the left side. I actually think that Sullus can get to him right there.
They should just kill the tower.
Yeah, they're using the Sprout Provision, but I definitely agree. Oh, Taku's going to get caught out again. He does get roared after the fact. Not going to be able to ult. He just goes down right away. This is a bad TP from Lich. He does throw out the Chain Frost immediately, but it's not going to bounce to anything. Now he's in a bit of trouble. Cold Snap is used. Another missed stun, and there's the Replicate in, followed by the Waveform from Morphling. Now Loki's in a bit of trouble as well. Burrow Strike and some auto attacks from PowerNet. That is a double kill for the Morphling. Now XCOM is forced to retreat all the way from his bottom tower. FF and the GGs are dropped at just the 20-minute mark. So I actually thought this game was going to be pretty close, man, but Hydra just looking really strong.
And XCOM barely escapes again.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I think that Hydra played this amazingly well. They just had a ton of coordination. The GDs have already gone out, guys, so GDT has forfeited this match, which means that Hydra is going to be moving on. And we're not going to have another match for quite a while, I believe, just under 2 hours. So hopefully you guys will be back for that match. But once again, my name is Draskyl. Joining me with Spit-wad. I want to thank you guys very much for joining us for this game, even if it was pretty short and honestly a little bit one-sided. But still, your guys' support is much appreciated. I'm sure Spit-wad enjoys it too. You got anything else you want to say before we sign off, man?
I got nothing.
He's got nothing. All right, so we are out of here, guys. And we
12 p.m. or 3 p.m. Eastern is when we will play the next match.
Yep, noon Pacific for those of you who are bad at time zones like I am. But we'll be back in just a bit, guys, so if you want to stick around, feel free. I'll probably be hanging out in the chat, but I'm not sure for how long, and we're going to see Anti-Mage drop here as our cue to get the heck out of this game. So once again, I was Draskyl. Join me with Spit-wad. We'll be back in a bit.